Hello and welcome to another video. Today I'm visiting the ground of the 5 times FA Amateur Cup winners. I'm in the County Durham town of Crook. Please subscribe, like, share and comment. Thank you. So a little bit about the town of Crook. Like many places in the centre of County Durham, it started as a village and then grew very quickly as a mining town in the 19th century. I couldn't find any famous local people, but I'm sure there are some, and locals can comment down below if there are. I've just been in the local Wetherspoons pub and it's got a whole load of pictures about the town's history, so I'm going to put a few of those up in a second. It also shows a bit about the football team that we're looking at today. And to give you a better idea of Crook, in the local Wetherspoons, they have these photos here showing the coal mining heritage. Obviously very proud of the heritage here. Even better, there's this montage to the football team we're going to see today, Crook Town. Showing the crest on the top. 1954 Amateur Cup. 1901 history of the club. The centre of the town's dominated by this church here and also this really grand First World War memorial. You can imagine that in the First World War a lot of people would have gone from pit villages like this. You can see the number of people who've died there. Colossal. And we have the Second World War bit at the bottom. Anyway, we're here to see the local football team, and the good thing about Crook Town FC is that it's only a few minutes walk outside of the town centre, and here it is around here. Now, what's special about Crook Town? Well, they've won the FA Amateur Cup 5 times, more about that in a minute, but they date back to 1889 and they've been in the Northern League since I think 1896, and they've remained in the Northern League for what, 120 odd years now. They've had their ups and downs, especially recently, but yeah, the ground's called the Millfield Ground, but it's also called the Sir Tom Cowie Ground. Sunderland fans might remember Sir Tom Cowie as being the president of Sunderland FC in the 90s, I think. As you can tell, they're playing kind of black and amber. So some of you might be wondering what all this FA Amateur Cup stuff's about. Well, for those who don't know, the FA Amateur Cup was the premier non-league amateur competition in this country from 1890 something until 1972, I think. Crook Town won it 5 times, amazing for a small town like this. That number only beaten by local rivals Bishop Auckland, and in fact the FA Amateur Cup was dominated in those days by northeastern clubs like Bishops, Crook, Willington, Stockton, and also kind of southern clubs like Enfield, teams like that. And so they last won it in the 60s, and that was kind of the halcyon days of the club, and things sort of petered off after then. The main entrance is looking a bit closed, so I'm not sure how much we're going to see of the ground, but we'll have a little adventure and have a walk around. I'm going to go around the other side first. Oh, brilliant. I've managed to point the camera over the fence here. So what you should get an idea of with this ground is how big it is for a non-league ground and how old it is compared to a lot of the modern kind of prefab grounds that I have. You can see there's a kind of a banking around the whole ground, probably built on spoil heaps from the mining pit. And you've got 2 stands there, little seated one plus a covered terrace to the left. So it's a pretty big ground. It must have held quite a lot at one time, probably held 10-15,000, but I stand corrected. Just looking over the fence again, get a better idea of the main stand there. As I said, it's really quite large for a Northern League ground. A lot of grounds these days have like a couple of prefab porta cabin stands. At the same time, it probably costs quite a bit to keep the stand in use. Well, as luck would have it, there's a little footpath being built just behind the ground here, so I can actually see the whole ground. If you look on this side, you can see what I was talking about with the banking. It's all nicely mown now, but that would have been terracing at one point, and you would have had people stood all around the side there, terracing like we have at the other end there. The stands are looking in quite good shape at the moment, which is really good to see. Nice and clean. Really neat little ground. Pitch is looking good as well. It's at the start of the season. It's probably one of the best videos I'll get of a non-league ground, to be honest. Well, there you go. Luckily we have this footpath as well that goes right behind the main stand, look. So you get an idea of how old that is by the kind of corrugated iron on the edge. But it's been nicely done up with the black and amber on the back. Same here, reminds me of going to a lot of football grounds in the 1980s. The kind of brickwork and that aged, weathered look. And the covered terrace looks even older. And there we go, we've almost completed the circle. Back round to the social club round here. Climbing up that banking at the end's like going to an old style football league ground. Love it. Right then, that's it for today's video from Crook Town FC, 5 times FA Amateur Cup winners. Hope you loved it. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Like, share, comment, and I'll see you in the next one.